And now, Rob, this is the question for £1 million.
Okay, I'm ready.
Which of these feature films won an Academy Award? Is it A, The Shawshank Redemption, B, The Green Mile, C, It's a Wonderful Life, or D, Slumdog Millionaire?
Well, it's not gonna be Slumdog, is it? Like compared to the other three. I'm gonna have to go with, in my opinion, the greatest movie of all time, Chris. A, Shawshank Redemption.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong answer. The answer was D, Slumdog Millionaire.
Fuck off! Slumdog Millionaire follows Jamal, an 18-year-old Indian from the slums who appears on their version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The basic premise of the film follows him seemingly breezing through the questions, interspersed with flashbacks to how he knew said answers until he is suspected of cheating. He wins the prize, gets the girl, and this won a whopping 8 Academy Awards, which nobody can still quite comprehend. All the great movies that couldn't even win one, and Slumdog Millionaire has 8. For God's sake! The picture was originally based off of the novel Q&A by Vika Swara. The screenwriter Simon Beaufoy then visited India to meet street children and get more of an idea for the script. I want to get across the sense of this huge amount of fun, laughter, chat, and sense of community that is in these slums. What you pick up on is this massive energy. In 2006, Danny Boyle was approached to direct, but he was hesitant at first, showing no interest in making a movie based on the popular game show, but one of his favourite films was The Full Monty, which was written by the same guy, leading to Boyle giving it a second chance. He checked over the script and was really impressed before committing to the picture. One of the casting directors also brought it to Boyle and Beaufoy's attention that some of the film should be spoken in Hindi to bring it more alive. The writer and director credited many other films as being inspirations for certain sequences. The first choice to play the host was an established Bollywood actor called Shah Rukh Khan, who turned down the role as he didn't want the audience to believe the real show was a fraud. Despite turning it down, he later claimed that he did not regret it and he still supports the film regardless. Slumdog Millionaire is only the second film ever to win Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Screenplay at the Golden Globes, BAFTAs, and the Academy Awards, only alongside Schindler's List. Slumdog Millionaire is now alongside Schindler's fucking List. I guess you could also put them side by side to show them completely ripping off this scene from Schindler's List as well, but yeah, this film is genius and so original.
You're absolutely right!
The movie has even been highly debated ever since its release. Many in Indian culture praised the movie, but others have objected to it, criticizing Jamal for his English. Yes, really. I don't personally understand this because, the actor who played Jamal is English. Was that what they were complaining about? I mean, his accent slips in this scene.
There was no message.
So was that the problem, that they cast a British Indian as an Indian? I don't know.
They didn't ask me that question. I don't know why.
Others bitching that similar movies by Indian filmmakers didn't get nearly as much acknowledgement. Filmmakers Amir Khan and Priya Dashan slated it. Author and fellow critic Salman Rushdie called it a patently ridiculous conceit. Adore Gopalakrishnan, who is possibly the most acclaimed filmmaker in all of India, who won the Best Director Award of the Indian National Film Awards 5 times, completely slated it. It's a very anti-Indian film. All the bad elements of Mumbai commercial cinema are put together and in a very slick way, and it underlines and endorses what the West think about us. It's falsehood built upon falsehood, and at every turn it's fabricated. At every turn, it's built on falsehood. I was ashamed to see it was being appreciated wisely in the West. Fortunately, Indians are turning it down. Meeta Sengupta said the movie puts doubt to realism in the film's portrayal of urban poverty in India, and he questioned whether or not the film will actually assist those arguing for the poor, claiming the movie's reductive view of such slums is more likely to reinforce negative attitudes to those who live there. This is one of the worst scripts I've ever had the misfortune of ever coming into contact with. And you're telling me that they truly believe this was a better picture that year than The Dark Knight, than Wall-E, than The Wrestler? Hell, than Eagle Eye! Right, the thing is, I actually quite enjoyed the cinematography and directing style. For maybe 10 minutes or so. There's a couple of chase scenes throughout with the editing and direction I thought worked really well. This movie is 90% Dutch angle shots. These shots are usually used to show uncomfortable situations. Check Matilda. But here, almost every shot is at an angle for no reason. There's nothing even going on most of the time. Was the cameraman drunk and he just left the camera on a tilt? It wouldn't bother me so much if it wasn't nearly every single shot of the film for no reason. There are some interesting choices, like some of the transitions I think are kind of cool, but then some are really weirdly timed and just random. I will credit the lighting and the overall look of the film. I don't think it's necessarily Oscar worthy, but it gives the movie its own unique image as well as the cool take on subtitles. It's different and I'll definitely give it credit for that. However, there's horrible decisions here, like the kids rolling down a hill and it's clearly sped up in post. You couldn't have done a better job covering that up. This simple conversation scene is over-directed like hell. Look how many unnecessary cuts there are. This is more cuts than an emo. I think my main issue is that there's a really cool idea here buried beneath the bullshit. I think a film about a cheater on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire would be really cool. Technically, there is one in documentary form, which by the way is a lot better, but this is one of the biggest missed opportunities I've ever seen. So the basic idea is they believe he's cheating because he's from the slums. Doctors and wealthy people can't get past a few thousand, but here is Jamal acing the game show. He can't possibly know anything. That's fair enough. I get the underdog judgmental arsehole premise, but then he's arrested and tortured for answers. Because that's how you handle a cheater on a game show. I get that they're trying to show India as this lower class, less fortunate country, but apparently it's not even accurate. I have never stepped foot in India, but all of these Indian filmmakers who have said it's giving a bad and inaccurate image gives me enough confidence to say that this is not how India is. And the screenwriter claims he visited the place 3 times before finishing the script. Are you sure you actually went to India, not just the satanic basement where Elephant was written? I can often let inaccuracies go, see my social network review, but it's the fact that this film is so praised for being accurate that annoys me. This movie really is promoting a bad name for India. Furthermore, they don't think this guy is cheating by having someone in the audience cough the answers. Nah, don't be silly. They think he's embedded a microchip under his fucking skin. Yeah, he can't possibly know who's on the American $100 bill, but he's smart enough to embed a microchip under his fucking skin. And the guy literally admits they have rapists and killers to deal with, but they instead are focusing on someone who they have no evidence cheated on a fucking game show. Yeah, fuck the Virginia Tech murderer. Billy is cheating on a science test. Let's go get his ass. The characters have no personalities. I have no idea why I'm supposed to want Jamal to win this money. The whole thing about his supposed character is that money means nothing to him, which is why he's so miserable and emotionless when he actually wins it. Okay, that's nice. Money doesn't matter to him. That's a good characterization, but that's it. And he's trying to win the cash. For a woman! The whole premise for the story is to win a woman over because I guess women only want you for your money? Or is it to escape the slums? Yeah, fuck all you other lonely slum dogs back there who are still trapped. I'm free, whoopee! This is Annie all over again!
I don't see what else I can do.
The host, who looks like Oliver Platt, is the only character I like, but that's for all the wrong reasons. He acts like a complete prick the entire movie, for no reason. He makes fun of Jamal constantly, acts like a dick on TV, talks to him like shit, and he's so cartoony, he's entertaining as hell. He's a real-life animated character, but the movie can't even get him right. There's a part where they take a commercial break. During that time, the host and Jamal go to have a piss, which would never happen on the real show, by the way, as it would allow Jamal time to actually cheat, but whatever. And the host admits he used to live in the slums and is rooting for Jamal to win. He tells him an answer, which is completely bullshit. This is a really interesting scene. There's tension, there's suspense. Is he telling the truth or is he just testing Jamal to see if he's a good person? Regardless, Jamal chooses against the host's answer and gets it right. A really interesting scene until it turns out the host is just pure evil and he's the one who passes him over to the torture police in the first place.
Just because.
That's what the film is. They're either good or evil. There's no in between.
There's right and there's wrong.
His brother Salim has the most inconsistent character I have ever seen. One minute he's good, then he's an arsehole, then he's good, then he's an arsehole. Everybody praises the scene where he shoots someone and calls it the turning point of the story where he finally turns evil. Finally turns evil? He already locked his brother in the shitter, ditched their friend Nikita, dropped her off a fucking train for no reason by the way, told Jamal he doesn't give a shit about her. He was always an arsehole. Jamal even tells Nikita they can believe in Salim, but then when he shows up, no, be careful, that brother I said we like, he's a douche again now. I don't know why, but he is. Then after years of no contact, they talk like nothing happened. Salim threatened to kill him, but now they're buddy-buddy. Then they meet back up and they hate each other again. Jamal literally says he can never trust him again, and then we cut to them chatting as mates again. What is going on? And then he's evil again at the end. None of these characters change. The entire purpose of a movie is that the situation has changed from start to finish. Otherwise, nothing's been established. Well, what's changed? Salim is dead, yeah, but that's it. There's no transformation start to end. Salim was a cunt at the start, he was a cunt at the end. Jamal and Nikita never changed, the host is still a douche, no one's learned any lesson. People haven't even learned that slums can be intelligent and not to judge a book by its cover because Jamal doesn't get any fame or anything from this win. This movie is entirely pointless.
No! No! No!
The love story is non-existent. Literally, we see Jamal and his brother Salim growing up and they have a friend Nikita. Salim intentionally ditches her, they lose contact, they meet back up, we see no signs of any romantic connection taking place, they lose contact, they meet back up, and now they're in love. There's nothing there! They're only in love because he's got a dick and she's got a vagina and the director thinks that means they have to get together, but that's it! The actors also have no chemistry together, which blows my fucking mind because they were dating in real life! Yeah, these were a couple in real life and they have about as much chemistry on screen as Rihanna and Chris Brown's fists. Look, even the actors look confused by it. Now, when he gets these questions and breezes through them, we get flashbacks through his difficult childhood and upbringing, showing the audience just how he knew the answers, and this is where it becomes the most contrived and forced script I have ever fucking heard of. And the only comeback is, it's Destiny. No, Destiny is a fucking awesome video game, and this movie is nothing close to awesome. That's just a cop-out. It's not an excuse. Destiny, no. It's a fucking forced, unrealistic, contrived bullshit script. I can usually let believability go to an extent, but this film constantly tests it, and it is filled with a billion coincidences based on chance, none of which I can just shrug off since it's every 20 seconds or so. It's just filled with inconsistencies and doesn't have the entertainment value to back it up. It is so bad. Literally, he gets a question about God Rama or something and what he holds in his right hand. We then get a flashback to his village being slaughtered where his mother dies. Really emotional and, to be fair, quite well done and strong scene, until he literally sees a little girl or boy, I don't know, dressed as him, holding a bow and arrow. Yes! Yeah, that really happened. That's how we knew. That really happened in the best adapted screenplay of 2008.
Now, why would you do that?
Are you fucking kidding me? And this is every question. He gets asked some question about cricket and we get a flashback to Nikita's forced husband watching cricket, and that's how he knew. He gets a question about who's on the American $100 bill. We get a flashback to him receiving one from a tourist despite no one being nice enough to hand out $100 bills. And then a blind homeless kid somehow happens to know who the fuck Benjamin Franklin is. Oh, better check to see if there's a microchip under his fucking skin. He gets a question about who invented the revolver. We get a flashback to literally Salim using a revolver. Yeah, he knows who invented one because his brother used one. What did he say? This was invented by Samuel Colt.
The man with the Colt 45 says, shut up.
But who would remember that? Who would remember that? And that wasn't even in that flashback. That was in a flashback later on. He gets asked who wrote this poem, and we get a flashback where he sings it, but we don't see how he knows who wrote it. We just see him sing it. So the flashbacks don't even answer their own bullshit. And even worse, they put the wrong answer in the movie. The author of the poem is Gopal Singh Nepali. Why make a movie based on general knowledge questions if you can't be bothered to research your own general knowledge questions? In fact, the children of Gopal Singh Nepali actually filed a complaint for the misrepresentation in this movie. Fuck this film! And the most embarrassing part is this question. Really? Look at these choices. Is this even a question? Never in my life have I ever seen the emblem of India, and yet the choices make it blatantly obvious, and it uses a lifeline on this shit. It's so obvious the host and the audience all laugh at the three bullshit options. No one wanted to be associated with this film, and I don't blame them. Mercedes-Benz requested for all of their logos to be removed from the picture. Drink companies wanted their branding taken out. I'm not even joking. They wanted nothing to do with it. The movie clearly has no idea how the game show works at all. Firstly, throughout the entire show, the host constantly says if he gets the question wrong, he will lose everything. Now, on the UK version of the show, there's a milestone for £1,000 and £32,000. If you get a question wrong after reaching those, you'll still walk away with said amount. And from our research, the amounts may differ, but the Indian version still has the same milestone formula, so no, you jackass, if he gets it wrong, he won't be walking away with nothing. The movie portrays the game show as being live, which it isn't. Being live would allow phone a friends to read the question and research it before being called. It's not a live broadcast. His phone a friend goes to a mobile phone, which the show does not allow because of connection issues. Why make a movie based on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when you have no idea how Who Wants to Be a Millionaire actually works? And why would his phone a friend lifeline be his brother, who he hates and has treated him like shit since birth anyway? Hell, the movie states it takes place in 2006, but yet Jamal's check at the end clearly says 2005. He can't even get the simplest of things right. Like when Jamal is on the final question, everyone in town is watching him, since it's live. But yet at the end, when he runs to meet Nikita at the train station, nobody recognizes him. Bull fucking shit! I mean, I'll give it credit for a few funny lines.
How did she die? A road traffic accident. Really? Maximum pileup.
I thought she died in childbirth.
Exactly, sir. She was on the way to hospital when it happened.
The movie is just boring, which is the worst thing in my opinion that a film can be. It drags more than my dead grandmother's saggy tits on a hot summer's day. Nothing of relevance happening. The flashbacks do nothing to further the plot other than give a weak-ass example for how he knew the answers, which sometimes it doesn't even do that. And I have no idea why we're supposed to even care for these people. The only reason is because they're kids being hurt, but that is it. It is the cheapest and laziest sympathy writing technique ever. Just have kids in pain. Of course people will feel bad, but there's no other substance whatsoever. And it sickens me that people call this a feel-good film, which it isn't. It's rated R, motherfuckers! It has prostitution, it has abuse, guns, torture. Even the teacher beats the hell out of the students with books. How is any of this feel good? It's depressing as shit. The screenwriter said it shows fun. Where the hell is the fun? Did I miss it? Was it hidden in the torture scenes? Was it hidden in the subtlety that this movie refuses to have? Yeah, there's no subtlety here whatsoever. Everyone treats Jamal like shit and there's nothing but forced dialogue here. The drug lords too. Everyone is just the most evil person in all of existence. There's nothing more to them, just pure satanic evil. And people have the balls to compare this to the great story of Oliver Twist and the drug lord to Fagin. No, Fagin actually had charm. The kids in that story were actually good kids. I'm sorry, I know they pickpocketed, but they were just trying to survive. Yes, like these kids were, but not once did I ever think in Oliver that those kids were arseholes. With this I did. I grew to give a shit about the kids in Oliver. Fagin was a charming guy who took the kids under his wing, never abused them. Yes, he flipped out occasionally to keep them in line, but he was a charming character, not an abusive fuckwad. So fuck all comparisons to that classic story. Even worse, after he's been horribly tortured, they still let him back on the show the next day. Yeah, apparently it took just 24 hours to realize that he did cheat, and he goes back to normal like nothing happened. And the so brilliant screenplay, best of the year, can't even spell an author's name correctly. This brilliant genius picture that had the best adapted screenplay that year couldn't even correctly spell a first name. And what are the odds that it's a question he's wondered all of his life and we saw throughout all of his flashbacks, and he still wins it? A movie that constantly shoves it in our faces that money is evil, and he wins it. He won it. He got the money and the girl. He's got both. He learned nothing. At the end, Jamal wins the jackpot and we cut back and forth to Salim bathing in money for no reason. The drug lord and Nikita's husband she was forced to marry walks in and he shoots him for no reason. The rest of the gang come in and shoot Salim. I mean, I guess they had a reason, but the whole thing makes no reason. All of this happens for no reason. It's like the screenwriter thought, shit, Jamal and Nikita can't run away together because the drug lord's still alive. Okay, shit. So they run in a room, he's in a bath with money, and then he shoots them. The end. Okay, so I guess it does have a reason. No, it doesn't have a reason, because they could just run away together. They're at a train station. The script is the only reason this happens, but storytelling-wise, it's entirely pointless. There's no reason for this imagery. Apparently, this was supposed to mirror Mahatma Gandhi's death, Salim even uttering the exact same last words. But for what reason? Because it was mentioned briefly earlier? What was the point? This kid is clearly thinking, don't look at the camera, whatever you do. Don't look at the camera. The dialogue is also such a big issue.
Well, the Slumdog barks.
Who talks like this? It's something out of Batman and Robin.
But you are not a liar, Mr. Malik, that's for sure. You're too truthful.
Well, yes, that's what it means. That's like saying, you're not a thief. You don't steal stuff.
Come on, I'm hungry. Make me a sandwich.
This is the most generic, overly done, cliche, misogynistic line in movie history, and it's in the best adapted screenplay of 2008. But I will give it credit for one good line. That's it. The only good, serious line. And the dance sequence during the credits is entirely pointless and it doesn't even fit the feel for the rest of the movie. We see 2 hours of horrible depression and mood-crushing misery and then it ends with this happy-go-lucky dance number? Fuck my ass. You have no idea what you're doing. This is a film that, in my mind, tries to pretend it's saying more than it really is. It's trying to be this intelligent, edgy drama, but it makes no sense, has no characters, no story structure, no heart, and comes across as utilizing India to portray a bad image in poor taste. Stay well away from this one. Go watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire instead.